What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is April 4th, Thursday, the day after New Comic Book Day. These are my pickups from yesterday, April 3rd. I have 31 total with 21 different titles. One of the few weeks I did not actually get a Midtown order. I think first time in maybe like a year and a half, possibly. So I know this is not a back issue video. However, with the Shazam movie coming out tomorrow, some of y'all who follow me on Instagram kind of already saw this. I posted this yesterday, but you know, I actually had a 8.0 CGC of Shazam #1. I picked up a higher grade yesterday. Man, this one is very clean. Dude, so yesterday I was able to pick up a 9.4, man. So happy for that, man. Great condition. Let me get that in full frame. So after negotiation, man, I was able to pick this one up for, let's see, like $147 total walkout price. So man, I was really happy for that. I think I'm going to try to sell my 8.0 that I have now at this point in time. So yeah, pumped for that movie this weekend. All right, so starting off on the DC side, I have read through this. Green Lantern, cover A and cover B from Mattina. Beautiful cover from Mattina. Better than the last Green Lantern cover he put out, in my opinion. The best one so far. So this storyline, as the cover kind of shows, Green Lantern kind of went undercover into this crime syndicate, and he has been tasked to kill his one of his old friends, Adam Strange. And as you see here, he actually shoots him and Adam goes down. I'm not going to tell you what happens, you know, later on, man. Great storyline, pretty good twist. But this storyline, kind of like a heavy metal take of Green Lantern. Definitely not for everyone, kind of like a fantasy feel to the sci-fi storyline. Man, I love it so far. So yeah, Green Lantern. Adventures of the Super Sons #9. As I said in the past, man, I love these two guys. I love the banter between the two. This one here on the Hex world, Jonah Hex is interjected into the storyline, kind of like a one-off storyline here, issue #9 of 12, almost done here. But yeah, great storyline, pretty good action along the way. This was just, again, like a little one-off storyline, and we get into the next storyline again, going back to the Junior Doom, or Junior League of Doom, I think is what it was. But yeah, overall, great storyline, good action. If you love the Super Sons, you know, I think you should go all the way through with this one. But yeah, Adventures of the Super Sons #9. Deathstroke #42. Again, the only cover B I did not get, but I ordered it yesterday online from Mattina. So this is cover A, part 2 of Terminus Agenda. Very great storyline so far. You know, so Deathstroke, I really enjoy that character, you know, now that I understood what his powers are, his suit, and things of that nature. But yes, you know, together with the Teen Titans, man, great stuff. So he was, I thought he was going to be in prison for just a little bit longer than what I thought here, you know, what the storyline would be. But yeah, great storyline overall, kind of creating doubt, you know, with Robin and, you know, Robin's future going forward, I'll say, just kind of stop there. But yeah, man, really enjoy the storyline. I love how the plot just kind of gets deeper and deeper as the issues go by. But yeah, Deathstroke #42. Young Justice #4. So I'm still not too clear in regard to what the continuity of the storyline is here versus the rest of the current DC Rebirth universe. You know, I've been told that it's within regular continuity, and you know, that doesn't really make sense to me. You know, overall, you got to kind of read this separately at this point in time, and this is really like a fun, you know, teen take of Teen Titans, like a lighthearted Teen Titans, in my opinion. You know, really not like the cartoon that we knew, and I did not really read too much of the previous Young Justice storyline that originally came out. I just saw the cartoon, but I really feel this is kind of like a lighthearted Teen Titans take, in my opinion. So yeah, really enjoy the storyline. I'm just a little bit confused in regard to the continuity, you know, going back to the regular DC universe. So yeah, we'll see where this goes, but yeah, fun read nonetheless. Moving on to Marvel. So this is where I got tons of variants here for the War of the Realm. So this was the Battle Line variant. I'll kind of put two side by side. This was the J. Scott Campbell variant. Both went for a cover price. This was my favorite by far. So I grabbed two of these. This was the Greg Horn van variant. And man, by far, my favorite. I love heavy metal, and this kind of had like that heavy metal rock band, shaggy feel to it, Scooby-Doo van feel to it. But yep, did indeed grab 2 of those. Stuck them both in Mylar. Grabbed 2 copies of the Gabriel Del Auto variants, and these were listed at Midtown for I think $15. I think is what it was listed for. Yep. Grabbed 1 of the Joe Quesada, and this was listed at $50 on Midtown. I think I saw this going for about $20-$30 on eBay. Buy it now listings. This was the Amanda Connor sketch variant, and I also was able to pick up the Arthur Adams Premier variant. So both of these were both listed at $200 on Midtown. What I heard from someone else were these were both 1 store per copy incentives for both of these, is what I heard. Even though these were listed for $200 each on Midtown, I saw them going for about $35 to $30 sold on eBay as of about 10 minutes ago. So yep, pretty happy to get all of these here, actually, tell you the truth. So on to cover A, my reader copy. War of the Realms in general, man, right into the action, love the storyline. So for those of you who have been following Thor storyline for, I guess, the past couple of years now, this really picks up where the Thor storyline left off. Talking about Jane Foster when she originally lost to the hammer, talking about Thor Odinson when he's the current Thor now. Going into Malachi, they discuss of the 10 realms, 9 realms have already fallen. The War of the Realms is already here. It's already been going on. Earth is basically the very last realm left to be conquered by Malachi. So it's not that the War of the Realms has just started. It's been going on for a couple of years now, on the comic book timeline side of things. So here we find all the action getting into it. You have Asgardians who have been living in the Bronx, meeting up with other superheroes in the area. Ooh, little bug there. But yeah, man, great action. I mean, it literally got right into the action, man. We have monsters from Asgard folding into the Earth side of things, man. Heroes are getting right into the battle. So yeah, this is becoming like a hunt for Thor at this point in time. But man, great storyline. I really expected quite a bit, and this hit all my expectations so far. Man, great storyline. If you're not picking this up, man, I highly suggest for y'all to go pick this one up. Marvel Team Up featuring Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. This one here, I would commend, Marvel for a great type of ingenuity, a little bit of a different take on this one. So what you have here, as it says, is a special flip book, and you're able to start on either end. One end starts with Spider-Man, and the other obviously with Miss Marvel. So let's see which one we have here. So this one starts off with Miss Marvel. It has her day-to-day activity getting into it. You find out that there is a science convention. There's a doctor, a scientist who has come up with a method to implant your brain into the cloud. So you have data transfer, move your memories. You have, what was this guy's name? The Jackal, who surprise attack, you get into a fight. What's pretty cool here is you start getting into a little sideways battle action until you hit the center of the comic. And what you find out is that is actually half the comic. And when you flip it over the other way, you start off with Spider-Man. Same type of storyline here. Starts off with a day-to-day, gets into the science convention, and this is kind of like his perspective versus Kamala Khan's perspective. So yeah, man, I really think this is a pretty cool, new take on a comic, in my opinion. 2 storylines merging together with the artwork to kind of blend them together. Pretty cool stuff, Marvel, from my perspective. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Major X. So this is one title I was completely on the fence. The past couple of weeks, I'm like, man, I'm going to skip this crap. I'm not a true fan of Rob Liefeld, man. I know the majority of the comic book community loves Rob Liefeld, but man, I think he peaked a long time ago. His artwork in the past was very decent versus today, man. I just don't feel today is just not there anymore. So that's why I was so on the fence for picking this one up, and really picked this one up more for the first appearance. So first appearance of Major X, and there's a little surprise of who he is at the very end of this comic. I'm not going to give it away, but I will say I will not be picking up number 2 on. Happy to pick up number 1 just to have a first appearance, but yeah, man, kind of done there. And again, man, it's really Rob Liefeld, dude. I'm just not really a big fan. So yeah, if you are, man, great for you, but yeah, not so much for me. Avengers No Road Home number 8. Man, this is a title that I am into. I suggest anyone who is an Avengers fan, go get this. If you love No Surrender title, man, there's no reason for you not to like this title here. Great artwork, picked up where we left off that last No Surrender type of, No Surrender storyline. And this one kind of focused a little bit more on the Immortal Hulk, man. I know Immortal Hulk is just tearing it up on the popularity as far as Marvel characters and comics right now. Man, so good stuff. He really kind of takes the center stage here a little bit. So definitely a great storyline. If you love Immortal Hulk, you have to go get the storyline. I mean, there's no way you cannot read this one. So yep, Avengers No Road Home number 8. Won't tell you what's going on with Conan. He kind of appears at the very end of this one again, but not really going to tell you if he's in continuity or not. Uncanny X-Men. So I think this was cover B, and my second LCS did not pick up, they missed a box. So I think I may have missed, from looking back, I'm missing Justice League, the only comic I think I missed from my pull list. So I should have one more. So anyways, getting back to X-Men, man, love this storyline. Little guest cameo from Captain America. He's aware of the X-Men kind of merging back together, and he gives them a little bit of a warning. This one issue is really the X-Men trying to stop the Mutant Liberation Front from an assassination. And, you know, I won't tell you what happens in the assassination, but something happens to Cyclops. You know, Cyclops is going to be different, maybe physically, maybe mentally going forward, you know, after this one issue. So something a good milestone for Cyclops here, man. So yep, pick it up, X-Men number 15. Conan the Barbarian. I am not one of the only ones on YouTube who was not always into Conan, was not expecting to enjoy this title, and like many others, man, love this title, and I know I'm not alone there. So yeah, great storyline here. He's kind of trapped at sea and kind of has to dig into some of his previous pirate days, which we've kind of already read a little bit. This one here has a pretty good twist. This is somewhat of a mutant type of horror type of storyline that's going on here. And, you know, when I say mutant, the type of deal to where, you know, this thing spreads and, you know, spreads from a monster to the sharks to anything that eats or touches this type of flesh. So, man, pretty cool storyline. And I love how each issue is just kind of like its own little one-off stories. They do kind of all come together, but they're, you know, little one-off stories, man. I really enjoy this. Conan the Barbarian number 5. Cosmic RiderDestroys Marvel History. Great humor here. The writer, you know, anyone who is a true Spider-Man fan, you know, I really feel this writer gave great justice to who the Spider-Man character was, you know, the storyline, the what ifs, the true essence of who Spider-Man was. You know, I really feel this writer did a great job on that. I like how the artwork kind of flips just a little bit back and forth between the historical storyline and the current storyline, where Ghost Rider is kind of talking to his current day wife or his previous wife. Great storyline. Really love how, again, the writer is doing a great job kind of dancing along the Marvel history here. So yep, Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History number 2. Champions number 4. Pretty good issue here. So you have a little bit more aftermath. Kamala Khan is confronting Miles, and she now is exposed to the fact that she was actually dead. The majority of the champions were actually dead. Miles made a pact with Mephisto in order to bring them back to life. So a little bit of a history there. Plus you have his other, what was her name? She is some sort of Caldera. So I think she was a bounty hunter back in the day who had a tiff with Nova. and she's here to, like, I guess, get revenge on Nova, and she does not even realize that Sam does not even have his Nova helmet. He's not Nova anymore. He has no powers whatsoever. He's a regular human who's a taxi driver for the Champions right now. Yeah, great action, great storyline. Love Champions. Number 4. Immortal Hulk number 16. One I've been off and on. I've been kind of skimming over. I am not as much of a fan of the storyline as the majority of the comic community, to tell you the truth. But aware of what's going on in the storyline, you know, I'm still intrigued. I want to know what's going on. There was a first appearance of, we're just going to fast forward to a little bit, of the Red Harpy. For those of y'all who are into first appearances, and apparently the Red Harpy, here you go. Apparently the Red Harpy is a merge of the Red Hulk and the previous Harpy, is what my understanding is. So yep, if you're into first appearances, here we go. Immortal Hulk number 16. Star Wars number 64. Man, again, y'all know me. I love Star Wars, man. These storylines that they come up with here on the comic side of things are just phenomenal, man. They always keep the true essence of all the characters that we know and love on screen. These storylines are brand new, very dynamic. Love it, dude. Always like a big chase type of heist or like a big political power play. Man, always good. Star Wars number 64. Domino Hotshots number 2. So I absolutely loved Gail Simone's take on the previous Domino series that just finished. This one kind of starts it up again where she left off with her new team. Great stuff, man. I have truly fallen in love with Domino, man. I was not a fan before. I am now. Love the artwork as well. I really feel this artwork maybe a 3.75 out of 5. Really enjoy it on the superhero genre side of things. Love how Deadpool makes a guest appearance. Love his banter throughout here. I don't always love Deadpool. He was a pretty good addition here in this one title here. And a little bit of power struggle between Domino and Black Widow. I think that's pretty cool because, you know, as far as the leader goes, I mean, Black Widow has far more experience than Domino. You know, it makes more sense for her to be the leader. But yeah, I do enjoy a little power play here. So yep, if you enjoyed that first Domino title, I highly suggest for y'all to go pick up this Domino Hotshots. Issue number 2. Moving on to Image, Curse Words. So this is a spring special. So similar to annual, for those of y'all who do not typically pick up annuals or some of these special one-off issues, this was a pretty impactful issue. So here is the actual origin story of Margaret. And they've never explained, I think Curse Words have gone on for, I don't know, like two and a half years now, maybe. They never explained who that koala, you know, she changes form, some sort of animal form from time to time. They never explained who she was. I kind of had a theory as far as who she was, and man, my theory was spot on, dude. Like, I called that exactly what was going on. But yeah, man, if you are a Margaret fan, and I love Margaret, man, this is her origin story. You have to go pick up this, the spring special. This is, again, her origin story. Check it out. Die number 5. So I'm surprised how this one started to pick up heat after it was out. You know, months after it came out, all of a sudden, like, people started really jumping on board on this title. Great title. If you were into Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, I feel it's hard for you not to enjoy this storyline. From my perspective, you know, just being a Dungeons and Dragons player, like back when I was like 10, 11, 12, used to love it. And man, this kind of, man, it took the whole essence of it and made it real. With current adult, you know, drama, adult themes, you know, the struggle. So there's an epic battle that happens. Not going to show you what happens. We think it's over, but then you get into like an aftermath as far as a party who, some of them want to go back to Earth, some of them want to stay, some of them feel that there's a need to stay because this world is real as well, and they left it in shambles. And so some of them have like a moral obligation to try to fix this fantasy world. But you may find out the battle is not over yet. So the plot thickens, great storyline. Go pick this up. Die number 5. got one from Aftershock, Oberon. Shout out to Tim, the Canadian comic country, man. He was the one who kind of turned me on to this one title here. Fantasy world type of storyline with magic. Fairies are involved, all types of hobgoblins, things of that nature, Lord of the Rings type of creatures. Man, great storyline, kind of like a political play. There's evil with, a lot of evil intentions in the background that's starting to unfold here in this issue. Love it, man. If you're into that fantasy world type of storylines, great artwork to go along with it. Man, I would give this like a 4.25 out of 5 for this fantasy art style. So, yep, Oberon number 3. Picked up just one from Ahoy Comics. This is one, looking at the cover, I completely skipped by it, man. There's I didn't even want to pick it up and thumb through it. It was the owner at the first LCS who actually recommended this for me. He knows I love this weird type of storylines. He's like, oh man, give this one a shot. So yep, he was right. So, I picked it up, I flipped through it, saw the artwork, man. I saw the artwork, I thought that was pretty phenomenal. I would give this like a 4.25 out of 5, maybe 4.5. I thought pretty phenomenal. I feel the first half of the comic is better than the second half. I think the coloring, more than the pencils and ink, to tell you the truth. But man, great storyline. Again, as you can see, it's more of a Lord of the Rings type of storyline here. But there's some sort of dreaming and some sort of crossover that she keeps on having with our Earth. Things are kind of going on in New York. So it starts off like a Lord of the Rings storyline, but the realms kind of merge. So yep, this is definitely one I will be picking up going forward. One that I would completely skip. So one of my best recommendations for this week, guys. I know like many of y'all like me would have skipped over this one just looking at the cover. Great storyline. Check it out, Bronze Age Boogie. Last one for y'all here from Dark Horse Comics, Halo Lone Wolf. The way that I read this one, this is issue number 4, and I think this one actually concludes the storyline the way that they left it. If that's the case, I'm wrong sometimes, but man, the way they kind of left it, I think it is the end. And I felt this one was, started off really good. I love Halo. I love Linda, the sniper. But it started off really well, but man, the way it ended, I'm not going to give it away, but a little bit lackluster. Overall, I may give the storyline just a 2.5 out of 5. It started off maybe at 3.5, but man, it kind of went downhill a little bit. Just in this last issue, just not what I thought it would be. So yeah, Halo Lone Wolf, number 4. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Hope you all get to see Shazam this weekend. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.